Hello everyone. Hi there. Am I live? Yes, I seem to be live. Awesome. Oh, effing some, I'd say. Hi Carl. Thanks for tuning in. Gonna put up the chat right here, like that, maybe. Yeah, maybe like that. Ah. Okay. So, how about switching over to this scene right here? Hi! Hi! Hi, 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 hi. Or as we would say in Germany, hallo. Although, like, we also say hi. We don't just say hello and that's it. We also say hi or hey, or, you know, multiple things. We're so expressive in Germany. Miss Clarissa, hi! Hi, how are you doing? Laurelie, wie geht's dir? Schön, dass du da bist. Freut mich. Cool. Und der Karl, hi. Da ist er. Da ist er, da ist er. Wie geht's euch? Erzählt mal. Ich mach mir währenddessen ein Bier auf. So. Upp. Stoß auf euch an, ja? Prost. Ah, love it. Ha. Nice, nice, nice. Good way to end the day. In a way. Ruth, or Ruth, hi. Thanks for tuning in. What kind of beer is that? That is a mixed beer. The type of beer that I prefer the most, pretty much, is this. Not sponsored, by the way. Hashtag not sponsored, but it's one of my favorite beers. It's pretty much beer flavored with Coca-Cola. So it's a mixed beer, and I love mixed beers. Like that flavor, for instance, or like the typical one in Germany at least, which would be beer flavored with lemon juice, which we would call Radler, das Radler. But it's also a masculine noun, der Radler, which means, you know, the person riding a bike, der Radler. Especially like men riding bikes. Punkit Lin, hi! Thanks for tuning in. Just found out your channel and recently started learning Deutsch. Awesome, hi! That is cool. Yeah, welcome. Feel at home. Make yourself at home. Can I German friend here? I don't know, maybe. Und Zitrone, ja. Und Zitrone. Lecker. Ah, ich liebe Zitrone, ne? I love lemon. I love it. Boy, it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. Like the last stream was early April, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Mizad, hi. How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if like I should get back to the stream announcement videos as well, but you know, these days I almost always promote new streams on social media and stuff, so that is pretty much the primary way that I promote them, and it seems to be working fine as well, but I don't know. Guess we'll see. I like your background, Dave. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do too. This is, I don't know if you recognize this. It's taken from a video game. Let me put it this way. It's taken from a video game that I love. And more specifically, from a remake version of that video game. Because the original is from 1998. Yes. 23 years old. It is crazy. It is ridiculous. It really is. It doesn't feel that long. And the cool thing is, as you might be able to tell, right here, you know, you see these little particles there? That is because, well, this is not just a picture, like a frame, a still, but it's rather a little video that's repeating itself in the background, and that is so cool. I love that. Pretty much a moving wallpaper, if you will. Yeah. And I love the color scheme as well. Like, I'm always a fan of this like blue versus orange kind of contrasts, or blue versus red. You know, I love that. And it totally fits this game as well. Yes. Cooler Haarschnitt. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. Ja, ich finde ihn auch gut. Es ist ein bisschen ungewohnt, muss ich gestehen, weil ich so kurz, also die Haare hatte ich schon länger nicht mehr so kurz, aber es war doch eine gute Entscheidung. Deswegen, ich bin ganz zufrieden damit. Ja. Werde vielleicht in nächster Zeit ein bisschen weniger Kappe tragen, oder ein bisschen seltener als normalerweise, aber mal schauen. Ja. Some German thrown in there. Hope you don't mind, guys. But I know that Carl understands some German, and Miss Clarissa Loralee also does. So, yeah. And of course, you also want to learn German, so maybe you think it's cool that I, more or less, like here and there, speak a little German during live streams and stuff. I've always thought about like maybe having a really special live stream at some point, maybe at 100K subscribers. If we'll ever reach that, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Would be like a sort of little dream come true when it comes to my YouTube stuff. But who knows? And then I might also do like an only German live stream. Might be fun. Lecker. By the way, this is das Bier, Singular. Die Biere, Plural. The beer. It's B-I-E-R. Beer. I'm gonna type that into the chat for you guys as well. Das Bier, Singular. Die Biere, Plural. Mhm. And this beer is lecker. Yes. It really is. So, how has your month been so far? What was your April like? In Germany, it was pretty like mixed when it comes to the weather, and especially early April. It was like one day you had like almost 20 degrees Celsius, and the other day, like next day, you'd have, I don't know, 10, 8. It's like up and down all the time. But it's typical April weather, right? We also say that in German, by the way. Typisches Aprilwetter. Saint Pharma. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Ich will ein Bier. That is good. I have one. But yeah, I would hand you guys like a beer if I could. Of course. And maybe at some point, if I'm gonna have a meet and greet with you guys in the USA someday, maybe I'm gonna do that, you know? We have had mixed weather in the USA too. It is strange, right? And it was, I just heard the other day that this April right now, in this year, it's supposed to have been like the coldest ever since weather recording. Is it weather recording? Like, yeah. Keeping track of weather, right? Yeah. You would bring us German beer, Dave, if that's possible, you know, depending on like the flights and stuff. That would be cool, definitely. Can't promise anything, of course, but that would be cool. Like I'd be down. Weather has been horrible in New York, constantly humid and rainy. Yeah. But I hope it's gonna get better soon. Sometimes I also feel like we're skipping seasons, if that makes sense. For instance, with fall or autumn, sometimes I think, like last year, for instance, I think it almost felt like as if we skipped autumn or fall and just like directly went from summer to winter because of the temperatures and stuff. It was really crazy. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but it was really, really strange. We have Weinstefana in my town. Ah, awesome. Same here. Wegen der Pandemie ist es jetzt nicht möglich, eine Reise zu machen. That is true. It's not possible to travel because of the pandemic. Not really. And but at some point it will be possible again. And I really want to go to the USA at some point. I've never been there yet, so that will be a highlight of mine. Like that. That's definitely gonna be a highlight for me personally. Yeah. Also considering my largest demographic is from the USA, so you know, it's only natural to go there at some point. I miss visiting Germany. Yeah, I always like vividly remember the meet and greet we had in Cologne in 2017, where you also were there. That was a fun day. That was really cool. Great weather. We went to the Cologne Cathedral, for instance, and then we ate something together. That was cool. I really want to repeat that at some point. I've been to San Diego. Worth going to look at. Yeah, most definitely. Can promise, and it's not 100% certain, but most definitely I'm gonna be in San Diego. That's gonna be my first travel location, travel destination for that matter. Once I'm gonna go to the USA, because I have me and Get Germanized, we have a mutual friend there, and she offered us to stay. So that would be cool. And I mean, you know, California would be cool. But I also, also want to do something that is a little bit off the chart for some people, but I'd really want to, I'd love to have a little Albuquerque tour of some degree, because I love Breaking Bad, and I would like to have like a little Breaking Bad tour / Better Call Saul tour, you know, and driving through the desert, that kind of stuff. Because obviously we don't have that in Germany. We don't have a desert here, so we have lots of woods, lots of like forest region and whatnot, but no desert. Not that I know of. Tijuana is about an hour away as well. Ah. If you need a place to stay in California, I have a guest room. Oh, thank you very much, Saint Pharma. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, thank you. The only thing I'm sort of afraid of, though, and especially when it comes to Australia, for instance, but I know it's also common in certain American regions, is, you know, big spiders and stuff like that. I'm not really afraid of snakes necessarily, but you know, I'm not a fan of spiders. So, and Vuko actually told me some stories about big spiders in Australia when he went there for working as an I think at a diner actually, and yeah, working abroad and stuff for a year or so, and but well, we'll see. We'll see. As long as they leave me alone, I'm gonna leave them alone. But That's the area I stayed in. Ah. And isn't San Diego also close to San Francisco? Could be wrong though. Australia is awesome. Yeah, I'd love to go. You know, there's so many places. And also to answer Jihad's question. Hi there, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. No, I haven't been to Middle East countries or African countries. In fact, I've only been to Europe, like European countries yet. And not even that many. Like, I haven't really traveled a whole lot in my life yet. There never, like, was the opportunity to do that, really. Both, like, time-wise and financially yet. So, but I would love to see, like, some other parts of the world at some point. Japan, for instance, definitely on the bucket list. Australia, USA, several places. Yeah. So many interesting, you know, also because I'm a curious person. So, yeah. Are there spiders in Germany? Yes. Yes. There's actually also a quite large one. What's it called again? Hausecken? No. Hauseckenspinne? Has a distinct name, but I can't remember. But, you know, nowhere like near as big as, for instance, a tarantula, and a Vogelspinne, a bird spider. That's the German term, by the way, die Vogelspinne. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of spiders. I mean, you know, I know that they don't want to harm you, like they are not against you per se, and they probably are more afraid of like us than us being afraid of them. But I know that, but you know, still, not my favorite animal. So, I've only been to France, like. Drove through Switzerland to get to France. Same is true for Italy. I've been to the Netherlands once. I've been to the Czech Republic once. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So much left to see and to explore. Definitely. Also would like to go to Spain, for instance, and to Italy, like properly. Roman stuff. Greece would be cool. Yeah. Just getting a glimpse of other cultures and how they are, what they are like, you know. San Diego is closer to Los Angeles. Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, you know, sometimes like for Germans, it's really hard to imagine distances when it comes to the USA and US cities. I mean, we know that like certain cities are in certain states, for instance. We know that like Los Angeles is in California and San Diego is in California and stuff like that. And we also know about like East Coast, West Coast, and that kind of stuff. But like apart from that, I don't think most Germans actually know like or have like an imagination of the distance between big cities that everyone knows. That is why I'm asking as well, because I don't know. So yeah, that's also like it's always interesting to learn more about that. Definitely. My dad lived in Berlin and Munich for a couple of years. He loved it. Yeah, I've never been to Munich yet, but I've been to Berlin and I love Berlin as well. Even though I know, like, friend of mine, Super Flash Crash, he's from Berlin. You might remember him from a video that I did with him about the Berlin dialect a couple of years ago. Great guy. He has helped me with, like, graphics and stuff, lower thirds. And he's just an overall great friend and good friend of mine. And in fact, he's gonna move to North Rhine-Westphalia soon, which is really cool. And he he's like a Berlin native, and he actually, well, I wouldn't say hates Berlin, but he sort of dislikes living there. And I can totally see why, because from the perspective of someone who has like lived there for like all their life pretty much, I guess it's sort of, maybe it's like the grass is always greener on the other side type of thing. But I can certainly understand why he wants to move like somewhere else and away from Berlin. But I've never been to Munich yet. Yeah. I only know that Munich is expensive. It can be really expensive. To live there, like just to exist there, pretty much. So San Diego is south of LA, which is about 6 to 7 hours south of San Francisco. Okay. Poland may not be the most exciting country, but still worth visiting. It's beautiful. I'm hoping for some meeting for fans, maybe if you're ever here. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm always open for like having like a meet and greet type of thing. The only like thing with meet and greets and that kind of stuff is that you have to like really plan it way ahead of time and in advance to make it happen, and that people can also like go there if they also need to travel, for instance, and that they can actually book things if they need to, like train tickets, whatnot. That's the only difficult thing, I think, when it comes to that kind of stuff. And maybe finding like a suitable location where people can actually stay, like in public. Maybe like with restaurants nearby. That was like perfect in Cologne, actually, because it was such an open spot there at the Cologne Cathedral, and yeah, that was a perfect location for something like that in Germany, I'd say, in my area, sort of. And I'd certainly love to pay Poland a visit at some point as well, because I've only heard great things about the country, also when it comes to architecture, for instance. And of course, history-wise, I mean, Germans have a special relationship with Poland, of course. Has not always been the best. We all know that, but yeah. Italy is beautiful. The Vatican is a must-see. Yes, I also want to go to the Vatican. I mean, I'm not a firm believer, and I'm not religious per se, but I'm just interested, as I've said before, in other cultures, and somehow, like to some degree, I think the Vatican City, which is like a state in itself, by the way. It's not part of Italy, but it's a state in itself. Sort of is a different culture, if that makes sense. I don't know. Sistine Chapel. Diese Sixtinische Kapelle. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, I've only seen like pictures of it, of course. But yeah, I'm a big fan of architecture, you know, and that was also one of the reasons why I really enjoyed Leipzig in Saxony. Great city, especially architecture-wise. Also Dresden, for instance. You know, I just love that. Big cities in general can get exhausting. Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, I'm living in a fairly like little city. It's like, what is it? 100 and maybe, I actually don't know. 100,000 population? I don't know. 100,000 people living here in my region here. But I can definitely imagine what it could be like. Doesn't have to, but what it could be like to live in a big city. Sometimes I feel like it might be interesting to do that for a certain, like a limited amount of time, and then you can always go back to your actual home, right here, for instance, where it's not a overly big city. Maybe at some point, you know? But then again, I just thought about that the other day as well, because I just don't have like a particular big reason to move away from here, where I live. Also, like, because just imagine, like, other people, like, from Germany, other parts of the world, they come here where I live, in the Sauerland region, to be, like, on vacation, you know? It is... So, and I have everything that I love here, like, huge forest region, many green spots, also great old architecture, everything's pretty much close and nearby. Yeah. What else could I want? I have my friends here, my family, of course. I mean, also many of my friends also live away, of course, but yeah. What do you think about the Balkans? Is it Balkans? 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 Balkans. Good question, actually. Like, nothing bad. But I don't know too much about, like, Balkan countries, to be honest. I don't know. Good question. I certainly would love to go there as well at some point, because, you know, I'm just curious. Alaska is beautiful and fascinating, which is, it is technically American, it also kind of isn't. It's nearly like being in another country, very worth seeing. Oh yeah, I can imagine, I can imagine. Isn't it also like, wasn't Alaska the 52nd state, like the last one to become part of the United States? If I'm not mistaken. Might be wrong though. Yeah, same here. Santa Barbara country is where the LA folk come on vacation too. See, sometimes. Yeah. So, you know, maybe at some point I'm gonna move to like a big city in Germany or somewhere else. I know that Vuko, like Get Germanized, very good friend of mine, my bro, he actually thought about maybe living in a big city for a certain amount of time. For instance, maybe Tokyo for like 3-4 months or half a year or even a year. And I could definitely see if it might definitely be an interesting journey and an interesting experience. But I don't think I wouldn't want to live there for like forever in a like really big city. Just not that type of guy, I don't think. It might be easier for like maybe shy people, which I am not, luckily, but for introverted people to get to know others. Then again, I would imagine a big city is also more anonymous, so it might be harder, maybe. Interesting questions, definitely, but we currently only have 50 states. Why am I thinking of 52 states, though? Maybe my brain plays tricks on me. Might be. Never been to Germany. Well, then you need to come here. Definitely at some point, because Germany has a lot to offer. Yes. Griechenland, Serbien, Bosnien. Yeah, I mean, I know people of Serbian descent, for instance, personally, and they are really like friendly people and really likable, open-minded, as far as I can tell. So yeah. And Greece, as I've said before, would be one country, Griechenland, that is in German, by the way, that I would love to visit, to pay a visit at some point. So, yeah. By the way, guys, I'm just gonna post real quick that I'm live on social media. It won't take too long. But let's just do that real quick. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask along. So share. This is what I want to share. Flop. I'm live with a little AMA Q&A. Oops. Q&A stream on YouTube. Come by and say hi. All right. I'm just gonna retweet that. Oh, by the way, guys, I have 2 new social media channels, both directly and only dedicated to this channel right here on YouTube, Vlog Dave, and what I'm doing here. So, on those channels, I'm gonna post updates whenever there's a new video published, for instance, or stream announcements, stuff like that, channel news, right? So if you want to follow me there and you're interested in staying up to date through social media when it comes to new videos and stuff like that, you're very welcome, of course. I'm gonna post the links in the chat real quick. One is Twitter and one is Instagram. I still have my personal channels, of course, like my personal accounts on social media. You can also find links to all of them in each video description from now on. But I'm not gonna be posting like too much Vlog Dave related stuff on my personal accounts anymore. Simply because not all people are interested in that. And yeah, wanted to actually separate that. American Music Awards. Close. Murunali? Guess I butchered that, sorry. Ooh, thank you very much, Sandra. Or Sandra. Thank you very much for your donation. Awesome. That is very kind. Very generous. Thank you very much. PLN, is that the Polish currency? Might be, right? And great sticker, by the way. Love that. Little fox. By the way, if you want to see real foxes as well, you can check out my latest vlog that I just uploaded on Tuesday, I think it was. I try to upload and publish new videos each Tuesday and Friday, by the way, by now. Like, I try to have at least 2 videos per week, one on Tuesday and one on Friday, and streams might be on Fridays as well, or on like Saturday, for instance. So just so you know, yeah. Looks like a Polish name. Wasilewska. Ah, Wasiliewska. Thank you very much once again. Very, very generous. By the way, I don't know if you saw that. It's new. Just wanted to try that out. I actually put up like a little donation goal type of thing here, which relates to, where is it? There. This link. Streamlabs.com/vlogdave. So each tip that's going to be made from that link will be added here as well. And I just wanted to try this out. It's a feature that you can actually activate in Streamlabs, which is pretty much the hub in which I control things related to streams, whether it's donation links, whatnot, or subscription stuff, right? So, and I definitely need a new chair, and this time I intend to like really get a good chair that lasts for a long time. Like, I mean, there are many gaming chairs, and I don't want to say that they are. Wow! Thank you very much, Hans. Thank you very much. You're the first one to enter this. Nice. So, I definitely want to and definitely also need to at some point get a new chair, because this one is slightly, you know, not the best one anymore. It still works, but yeah. And I thought about getting like a really high quality chair, because let's face it, I'm sitting here quite often for many hours, and yeah, I think it's worth it, definitely. Also for my back, for instance. I'm not getting younger, so that is something that I want to and maybe also need to get at some point. And I was thinking about, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Herman Miller, the chair producer and developer company. They have great chairs, but they are pretty pricey, comparably pricey. So I'd love to have one of those at some point. And I also want to have a new, I also somewhat need a new cam at some point in the future, because it still works. Like, I've been using this one since 5 years now. Or 4 or 5 years, I should rather say. It still works more or less. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. And it's only 1080p, which is totally okay. Like, don't get me wrong, of course, but definitely the next cam should be 2K, if not 4K. I'm aiming at a 4K type of cam, and also, of course, a quality one. So yeah, like, those are two things that I really want to get at some point. So if you want to help out with that, if you don't or you can't, that's totally fine as well. Don't feel obliged to donate anything or to tip anything. Okay, so don't feel forced or obliged to do that ever on this channel. But if you want to contribute to that, of course, you know, very welcome. And yeah. And apart from that, like, apart from the monetary side of things, whether it's PayPal or like Super Chat or Patreon, which really is beyond amazing. Like, your support is, yeah, it always leaves me speechless, to be honest. And yeah, but apart from that, also all your support throughout the years as well. 6 years by now. Like, I started this channel in early April of 2015. Your support through liking my videos, through commenting, leaving comments under videos. I always love reading those. And also, very important, if you want to support your favorite YouTubers and creators, not just me, but everyone you're watching online, on YouTube especially, sharing videos with others, sharing videos on social media, sharing videos on WhatsApp, sharing videos on Reddit, I don't know where, in forums, Facebook groups, where it's allowed, of course, only where it's allowed. That is one of the best ways to support your favorite creators. It simply is. So always highly appreciated, guys. Yeah. So just need to repost the post real quick. And then I'm gonna be back and answer more questions. Don't worry, just gonna take a few more seconds. Retweet. There we go. Okay. Let's actually find out. Can I post it there as well? Yeah, maybe I should post it there as well. And also that I'm live. I should post that I'm live, not just that there is a live stream. So let's see what you wrote as well. Like Vuko's chair is fine. Like it's not bad, but it's like a typical gaming type of chair. And I like them, but it's not like mainly the type of chair that I'm looking for. I don't think, because I'm more or less like looking for non-gaming chairs, if that makes sense, and more ergonomic chairs, right? And yeah. But it's not a bad chair, don't get me wrong, that he has. I love the vlog at the zoo. The raccoons were so cute. Yes! Oh, that was so cool. And you know, the secret to success with raccoons and foxes, for that matter, is handing them cat food. Yes. Feeding them with cat food. That worked wonders. That was really cool. Like they were pretty much in love with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Love it. So just gonna post that I'm live on Facebook as well. Where is it? There it is. Profil wechseln. Floop. Ah, guys. And it's still much fun, you know, working on videos and stuff. It's always been fun, and it still is. Sorry. Yeah, still love it. But of course, sometimes you want to evolve, like quality-wise, for instance. So I'm also gonna get a new microphone soon. So it's for all you guys that might be like singers or that know something about microphones. It's gonna be a Shure SM7B, like wow, that was my beer. Oops. The classic microphone of all microphones out there. Ooh. Za. Almost spilled my entire beer, or what's left of it rather. But yeah. That is because I'm moving too much, I think. But sometimes, you know, I need to articulate myself. A very Italian way, maybe. Sorry. So yeah, what do I want to say? Yeah, the Shure SM7B is gonna be my new microphone soon, a couple of days from now. Really looking forward to that. It's pretty much the classic microphone of all microphones out there. I guess some people also call it the Michael Jackson microphone, if I'm not mistaken. It's used by many singers actually, and many podcasters, many other YouTubers, creators, Twitch streamers, you name them, you know. Yeah. Looking forward to that. Really am. Okay. Floop. So, oh, just one last thing. Gonna post a gonna post a little story of the stream. Real quick. So, oops. Well, I can post it like this as well. Hey everyone, I'm live on youtube.com/vlogday for a little AMA/Q&A stream, so feel free to join in and have fun in the chat. Hey everyone, I'm live on youtube.com/vlogday, little AMA/Q&A stream, so feel free to join in and have fun in the chat. Okay, so just gonna post that real quick and then I'm gonna be back. Promise. Okay. I love live streams, guys. I love it. Alkoholmissbrauch. Justin, hi. I know, such a weird idea. They are also currently trying to give DC statehood. Yeah, I read about that actually. I read about that. America has a couple of territories, the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. They aren't states, but if you look up, say, the COVID ratings, it will be listed as American. Okay. But I could swear that back in school I learned that there are 52 states in America. I don't know. Maybe my mind plays tricks on me. That might as well be possible. Bariotic is around. Hi, by the way. Gruß aus Heidelberg. Ja, Grüße nach Heidelberg, ne? Da war ich auch übrigens noch nie in Heidelberg. Aber ich habe gehört, da soll es sehr schön sein. I've never been to Heidelberg. But, you know, it's a famous city when it comes to studying there. Studying medicine, for instance. Heidelberg is famous for that. Also, I think across borders, actually. Really famous. Bureau chair, yeah, pretty much like an office chair type of thing, you know, but a good one, a quality one. Yeah. They numbed on dry cat food, yeah. Dry cat food is the key, guys. It really is the key. That was so cute. That was such a good day. I love your accent, Mr. Dave. Dankeschön. I guess. Thank you. Guam is our territory too. Ah, okay. But isn't Alaska like the latest state edition? Officially? Was that the one? 5090 United States. Stranger. What? Asperger. Wow. Hi. And thanks. Well, that just happened. Oh, it's going into my head. Right there. Then it vanishes. Double thank you. Like, endless thank you. Or to say it in Finnish, in Suomi, kiitos. Kiitos. I only know that because of Nightwish, actually. Because I love Nightwish. Nightwish is one of my favorite bands. This is the first time that I've seen Dave without a hat or cap. That actually is true. By the way, hi there, Zasha, Gannon Kirby. Great guy, by the way. Check him out as well. I just recorded a Let's Play session with him for his channel, and I was a guest commentator on Deus Ex. Mankind Divided. Great game. So... yeah, I usually have a hat on, like, I usually wear a hat, but I think, in fact, it might only be maybe 2 or 3 videos on my 600 plus video channel where I'm not wearing a hat. And, in fact, I pretty much started wearing a hat with the start of this channel, now that I'm thinking about it. But I think I'm just gonna, you know, let my lengthy hair, which is not lengthy at all anymore, you know, just live on the way it is without the hat for a certain amount of time, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of the hat, but I also want to celebrate that, like, you know, now it's like a fresh haircut. And I can actually wear it like this and yeah, have it quite short. So yeah. Hawaii was 50th. Alaska was 49th. Okay. Okay, I see. Thanks for telling me, guys. That is also, like, that is so cool. That is something that I love about videos, that I love about live streams. You guys also teach me stuff, you know? I'm not just teaching you stuff. I'm not just talking about the German language and culture, and you can learn something, but I can also learn something too from you guys, right? And I love that. That is one of the coolest things about having this channel and running this one. Honestly, this is so awesome. And I just love this. I genuinely love this. It's guten Abend, was geht ab? Pile of potato skins. Hi, interesting name there. Interesting handle. Love this. Was geht ab? Well, what's up, so to speak in English? Well, I am having fun doing this live stream. I enjoy live at the moment, and pretty much always, but especially at the moment because everything's in order, like everything's working out just right for me personally right now. I can't complain. I really can't complain. I'm happy. Simply put, I'm happy. Hope you are too. Hope all of you are healthy, by the way, and you know, getting through this tough time. Yeah. It's gonna be over at some point. Just got out of math class. Hello, Tiffany. Hi. How are you doing? Jim, you just looked like you were going to faint. Well, hasn't happened yet. Like, I've never fainted in my whole life yet, to be honest. Not that I don't think I ever have. No. No, I don't think I have. And what I also thought about is, like, when you go to the hospital and you might have like a big operation and you get anesthetized, for instance, or it's like sedated, and you basically like fall asleep for like, do you dream then? Like, is it like sleeping, or do you not think at all and you are just like gone completely for that amount of time? What's it like? Because I've never experienced that yet, luckily. Like, I never broke anything, like never broke a bone or anything yet, so that's something that I've always wondered about. Guten Morgen, Vlog Dave, alles fit im Schritt, bitte auf Deutsch. Mr. Spock, hi. Ach, schön. Ich freue mich immer, wenn du einschaltest und wenn du dann möchtest, dass ich was auf Deutsch sage. Das finde ich immer sehr, sehr cool. Deswegen Daumen hoch dafür. Mir geht's sehr gut, muss ich sagen. Ich kann echt nicht klagen. Aktuell läuft alles wirklich super und bin sehr froh, dass ich das hier machen darf für euch. Ja, dass ich genügend Ideen habe für neue Videos, dass ich immer noch Spaß daran habe, Videos zu machen und dass ihr zum Beispiel auch einschaltet, wenn ich einen Livestream habe, so wie heute, wie jetzt, gerade hier. Das finde ich immer wirklich super. Und dass ihr meine Videos schaut, natürlich auch. Also vielen lieben Dank dafür. Ja, das freut mich einfach immer wieder. Einfach schön. Also vielen Dank. By the way, is there a difference between like being sedated and anesthetized? Or is it anesthetized? Anesthetized, I think. By the way, great song and live album, if I'm not mistaken, by Porcupine Tree. Great band. Love it. Steven Wilson is God. But he is a really good musician. Love him. So yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm gonna start watching Chernobyl soon. I've only heard great things about it. Like, I think it's rated as one of like the best. It's ranked as one of the best TV productions of all time, if I'm not mistaken, on IMDb and stuff. And it's only like 6 episodes or something, and I'm really looking forward to that because I've always been fascinated by Chernobyl and what happened 25 years ago. I think it was on April 26th, like just 4 days ago, that happened. 25 years ago in 1986. Not 25, but 35 years ago, actually. Wow, 35. Counting, you know. Getting old. I'm just getting old. So, really looking forward to watching that one. Like right now, I'm actually watching a Let's Play of Cyberpunk, or like Let's Play stream recording of Cyberpunk 2077 by Core Carnage, one of my favorite streamers out there. He's so cool, love him. Genuine guy and just overall likable. So yeah, thumbs up for Core Carnage, definitely. And then I also need to continue watching How to Get Away with Murder. Also like a show that I just begun watching. And yeah, still in the first season though, so psst, don't spoil stuff. But yeah. But I think I'm like 12 episodes in and I love it. I just love it. So, Hi, I have a question about the pronunciation of pronouns like in German, like ich and dich. I often hear German natives pronounce them as ish and dich. Rhymes with fish in English. Yeah, why? That's interesting, definitely. It's mostly, I think, people with a foreign descent that have a tendency to say ish instead of ich. And ich is correct, ish is wrong. Even though ish is kind of common among like certain people. I think, and I'm not like putting that out there to like, you know, blame people at all. That's not my intention at all. But from what I know, sometimes it's, for instance, people of a Turkish descent that have a tendency to say ish instead of ich and dish instead of dich. But remember, the one with h is the correct version. the only correct version. Ich and dich. So, yeah. Maybe it's just like a linguistic tendency for people that, or for people that learned German as a second language and not as a first one. That would be my guess, but I don't know. Maybe Gannon Kirby also has some insight into that and can say something about that, because he, in fact, also is a German teacher, and, well, yeah. He also knows things. I drink and I know things. So, cheers. Prost! Prost. So, mir geht's gut, it's just a lot of nothing, and then you wake up all groggy and disoriented. Okay. When I had an operation, I fell asleep within 2 seconds or so, and I noticed somehow that I was dreaming during the phase they tried to wake me up. Okay. I could remember the whole dream, though. Interesting. When you are sedated, you are sleeping. Will not remember anything after the operation, Mr. Dave. Okay, huh. I mean, you are sleeping. Yeah, but is it? That's the question, though. Is it like the typical, or what we consider sleeping, including dreaming, like the normal sleep? Or is it like really being, how to put it, actually, being in a black hole, like not existing mentally in that state? That is, it's really hard to put into words, actually, but don't know if you know what I mean. By the way, like dreams, I think once I'm gonna have the new microphone in a few days, I'm gonna record a podcast about Rammstein. That's the plan, and maybe I should also record a podcast about dreams and dreaming. I've always been fascinated by that topic. So yeah. Looking forward to that. By the way, if you don't know, and if you're into podcasts, and you don't know that I have a podcast as well, here you go. It's simply called The German Podcast. And it's available on Spotify, it's available on pretty much everywhere you can listen to podcasts, including YouTube, of course, but with a delay. Like, I have recorded 1 or 2 episodes in, I think, February and March that aren't out on YouTube yet, but on other platforms, though. On Spotify, for instance. When I listen to podcasts, I almost always do that on Spotify, personally. But, yeah. It's a German podcast, hence the name. Who would have thought? But, yeah. And I'm talking about things that I'm interested in, whether it's like lost places, for instance. I made a whole episode about lost places, inspiring people, Keanu Reeves, you know, Dave Grohl, Cole Carnage, and the like. And what else did I talk about? Die Ärzte, for instance, which is an overly like big size podcast. XXL. As we say in German, XXL. It's like 7 hours long, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No, that one is like 4.5 hours long, I think. But still, you know. And I also have a second podcast together with a friend of mine, who I just mentioned a few minutes ago, Super Flash Crash, aka Rick. And that podcast, it's also in German, and it's called Custom. This is the link to that one. And in that podcast, we both talk about things like that we're interested in. Could be music, could be movies, video games, life in Germany, whatever, you know. There's no limit, really. And yeah. So if you're interested in that, maybe like, you know, look at it as being sort of a listening practice for you guys. 2 German guys talking about stuff, or in my case, the German podcast, just me talking about stuff. And sometimes we also have guests in the podcast. in custom that is. For instance, Gannon Kirby, who also has a podcast. Everyone has a podcast right now. It is cool. I love podcasts. Did I mention podcasts in this live stream enough? Often enough? I don't think so. No, podcast. So back to the chat. Gonna catch up on your chat questions here and your comments. General one more question. Where do you teach German, in a school or online? Is it your full-time job? P.S. I'm an English teacher for speakers of other languages. Hi Ashley, by the way. Tiffany! Wow! Thank you! Just wanted to send you a little something to say thank you for all your videos. Mein Deutsch hat sich echt sehr verbessert. Vielen Dank. I have to thank you, Tiffany. That is so generous. Wow. Yeah, thank you very much, Tiffany. Thank you very much from the bottom of my German heart. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. To answer your question, Ashley, I'm only teaching German on YouTube at the moment. I thought about like maybe giving, not really like private lessons, but worksheets maybe at some point. But we'll see. Maybe in the future, if people are interested in that. The only thing that I'm sort of struggling with when it comes to that is coming up with a decent price. Decent like fee. Which is not too easy to come up with, I don't think. Like, maybe at some point, like Gannon Kirby in the chat right here, he's also a YouTuber, and he just started a new channel about literature, because he, in fact, is a German teacher who really works at a German school. Like, he's the legit thing. In comparison, no. But I mean, I also studied German studies. I also studied the language at university. I'm not a teacher in the classical sense, right? So I'm a YouTube language teacher, so to speak. But yeah. I've heard Chernobyl was amazing. Yes, same here. It's a good series. Watch Chernobyl in one go. How far are you into How to Get Away with Murder, by the way? I think I'm 12 episodes in. So, still in season 1. And then I actually began watching the Cyberpunk Let's Play, which I always wanted to do, even back when I also first, Let's Played Cyberpunk for, from December to 2 weeks ago. 232 episodes, guys. On my German Let's Play channel, Vlog Dave. On my German Let's Play channel, Dave Durin TV, by the way. German Let's Play of Cyberpunk, great game. You know, of course, the technical side of things is the biggest disadvantage at the moment, the biggest problem, definitely, and some things about how CD Projekt Red handled the whole publishing process and stuff. Yes, granted, but the game itself, from a atmospheric standpoint, from a voice acting standpoint, even from a musical standpoint, from a story standpoint, and the whole Night City as a whole, and to live, to act in that city as the player feels so immersive. It is breathtaking, to say it with Keanu Reeves. I would love to meet Keanu Reeves at some point, actually, and drink a beer with him or two. So yeah, had my first German class on Discord last night. Awesome, nice. Have you ever seen the movie Australia, Mr. Dave? No, I haven't yet. Australia is a movie. I think it is. It's a couple of years old by now. Isn't that one with Hugh Jackman and Scarlett Johansson? Is that the one that I'm thinking of? I don't know. Dave, I binged through 3.5 seasons since our recording sessions. I am way ahead now. Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's a movie starring Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman. Yeah, because both are Australian, of course, and I don't think Scarlett Johansson is Australian, right? Might be wrong, but it might be right. I don't know. I think she's American. I was confused about that as well. Glad to know I've been doing the correct version. Yes. Yeah, I remember getting strange looks from a couple of Germans when I said I liked Rammstein. Do they have a terrible reputation over there? That is interesting. I think it also applies to other big, internationally successful German bands. Scorpions, for instance, being a good example of that as well. Many Germans actually dislike Rammstein, and many Germans actually dislike Scorpions. I personally don't. I love them both for what they do, even being so different, you know. But I feel it's really hard to pinpoint why that is. But I mean, there are also many Germans, don't get me wrong, there are also many Germans that love Rammstein and that love Scorpions and, you know, Guano Apes and who else, I don't know. But it seems to be a thing to really dislike successful people from your own country that are successful internationally for some reason when it comes to Germans and Germany. I don't know why that is. I never got that. Like, I just don't get it. Because I think it's great when German artists, be it bands, actors, actresses, are successful internationally. Diane Kruger, for instance, you know, the actress, she's German. Or, you know, there are so many others. Yeah. By the way, guys, just recorded a little reaction video the other day about, or let me put it this way, that has to do with Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz. Yeah. That was fun as well. Rammstein, by the way, Till often pronounces dich as dish, maybe because he's singing. But does he really? I don't think so, to be honest. Like, maybe slightly, but not to the extent of, like, where people with a foreign descent would do that, a foreign background, linguistic background. Would do that in spoken daily German. Maybe Till might have a tendency to use the more throaty type of instead of the which would usually apply here, because in ich and dich it's the lighter sound, like a snake hissing type of sound. Dich, ich, right? And depending on the, you know, intonation and the song, Till might have a tendency to say like a little bit more throaty. Dich, ich, maybe, I don't know. But I don't think he actually sings it as dish, though, all that much. Australia is a good movie. It's filmed in the Aussie outback. Dave is also part of another great, that was custom. Die Ärzte's Hell is so awesome. Yeah, it's a great album, guys. It's a great album. I love Die Ärzte. By the way, yesterday I just got 2 new tickets for their upcoming tour, Buffalo Bill in Rome. And that's going to take place next year. So I have actually 2 sets of tickets now. One for Dortmund, very close to where I live, and one for Köln. So both with my dad. Yes, love it. Looking forward to that. I also have tickets left for Nightwish, which I'm also looking forward to. I love Nightwish, especially with Flor Jansen, but also with Tarja, for instance, of course, and Annette. And I also have I had tickets for Steven Wilson, formerly Porcupine Tree, you know, and great musician. Also with my dad. And I also have tickets for Rock am Ring, the big German festival that I love as well. So many tickets left, and I can't wait for the day to actually, you know, to happen and to come, where we can all go to concerts again and stuff like that, or like basic things, to go to the movies, you know. I miss that. I love going to the movies. So it's not like normal sleep. Okay. So it is different. I think it might just well be hard to explain, I guess. Did you know that Prost in Romanian means dumb as stupid? No, I didn't. Interesting. Thanks for telling me, Tiffany. I didn't know that at all. Wow. Probably depends on the length. My mom was in long comas and had crazy dreams. Yeah, might as well depend on that. Yeah. Australia's beautiful. I have visited Sydney and Brisbane. Awesome. Hi Dave, do you see many electric vehicles in your part of Germany? VW, BMW. That's, by the way, the German pronunciation of those brands. VW, BMW, VW and BMW. Increasingly so, yeah. Definitely increasingly so. Many electric vehicles. Also quite a few Teslas here. Like, yeah. Definitely, and I definitely appreciate that. I could see myself driving an electric vehicle at some point as well. Or even better, like hydrogen, I think, is it a hydrogen-based vehicle? Wasserstoff? Hydrogen-fueled vehicles might be the English term for those. Because I think those are the true future. And the electric vehicles might only be like an intermediate thing between the old and the really new and good. But I'm no expert when it comes to that. So, but that's just my assumption. Black hole. When I was put under, it was like immediate when I woke up. When you sleep, you know time had passed. But when I was sedated, it was like no time passed. Wow, that's so interesting. I can't imagine that, you know. Like, I only got partially sedated when, for instance, I went to the dentist as a kid or something, you know, stuff like that, but never like fully. So and by the way, hi Pete Laycock. Oh, I would love to actually pronounce your name, but I'm afraid I might make a mistake saying that. Is it Getschliorium? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to butcher it. Thank you very much, Ashley. Wow, thank you. Ashley says, thanks for answering my questions, Dave. You're welcome. That's what live streams are for. I love doing this. So thanks for tuning in the first place, Ashley. That is what I really appreciate as well. And of course, you guys asking questions. That is one of the reasons why I love live streams. and also you guys asking questions in the comments. Even if I might not be able to answer every single question and to reply to every single comment, because by now actually I've reached a point on this YouTube channel where I honestly can't reply to all comments anymore. It's just not possible. And yeah, but I definitely try to read most of them, as many as I can, and yeah. So the best way to actually ask me a question directly is in live streams. So that is why I appreciate that. So thank you very much, Ashley. Thank you very much once again. Huge Rammstein language fan here, so that's how I found your channel. Have a good evening, you too actually, or a good day, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on the globe. By the way, it's almost 10:30 p.m. in Germany. So yeah. Gotta catch up with you guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind in the chat right now, but I want to catch up with you. Not miss too many questions and chat comments. I hope that's all right for you guys. Doing my very best, but I'm old. So... the ads as hell is so awesome, yeah. WandaVision or The Falcon? What the dilly? Cool name. To be honest, I can't answer that question yet, because I haven't watched either of those. Like, not yet. I don't know. I try to stay away from watching too many series all at once, because I know for a fact that I'm gonna neglect like one or like at least two series of those and not watch them at some point, because maybe it's just my brain, but I like to focus on one show, like one series at a time, and that's it. But of course, that also means that I'm really slow when it comes to watching shows and series. So that's the negative side to that. But I definitely want to watch WandaVision, and maybe also The Falcon, yeah. If you are sedated, you are asleep but conscious, like you are drunk and can't remember it after. When you are anesthetized, you are deep asleep and don't move. So there is a difference between those two things. Interesting, because I thought that like being sedated and being anesthetized, or anesthetized, I don't know, it's the same. Like, it's pretty much synonyms to one another. Two words meaning the same thing. But apparently it doesn't seem to be. When I had sedation, I was apparently speaking German when I came out of the theater. Have you also heard about like people that were involved in a car accident and they couldn't speak a certain language before the accident, but after the accident they immediately could speak like, you know, a foreign language without learning it? That is so interesting. That is so fascinating. Like, I've read about that multiple times past couple of years ago, I think it was. Stuff like that. Really interesting. Yeah, really interesting things. Really interesting context and situation. I don't know. We enjoyed it, I'm sure. I'm the literature guy now, yeah. Would also have been a cool channel name, by the way, the literature guy. Simply, but, you know, simple but clever. Nicole Kidman, yes. He's definitely, I'm so much behind, I'm sorry guys. I try to catch up quicker. He's definitely a great guy. I also wanted to meet him, and two of my favorite authors, Stephen King and Neil Gaiman, or Gaiman? Neil Gaiman? I actually don't know him, to be honest. Like, I've heard his name before, but I couldn't tell you which novels he actually wrote. But of course, I love Stephen King. Have you been to Australia, Mr. Dave? No, I've not been to Australia yet. I've never been outside of Europe yet. Fenris, hi! Very late, but, also, ich war sehr spät, nicht du natürlich. I was late reading that. That is what I meant. Definitely American. Hello, Fenris. Tiffany, hallihallo. Do you know Jasmin Wagner, aka Blümchen, Mr. Dave? Yes, I know Blümchen. Not personally, but I, of course, as someone who grew up in the 90s, there was no way around, like, escaping Blümchen and, you know, Boomerang and other hit songs by her. Eurodance. Yeah. Interesting times. Like the other day, I actually heard one of her old 90s songs on the radio, like for the first time in years. And I was like, wow. Okay. That was a thing, apparently. But I can't say I dislike them. As trashy as they might sound. And like Eurodance, you know, trashy Eurodance type of songs, but I still like them to some degree. I don't know. I am still studying language and started college classes. That is really cool, Tiffany. Keep it up. Same thing applies to other countries as well. Many Brits are not as fond of him as other countries are. Mr. Bean, I mean. Okay. Oh yeah, the same thing with Rammstein in Germany. That's what you mean, yeah. I don't know why that is. Maybe it has to do with envy, like, you know, feeling envious and or jealous, you know, being jealous about other people being successful internationally. Maybe I don't know. Really hard to pinpoint. I guess it's a multi-layered psychological thing, to be honest. The teacher on Discord said the soft is like a whispering, ja. Ja. Ich hab dich lieb. Can you please pronounce it in Berliner accent, Mr. Dave? In Berlin, German, in the Berlin accent, Berlin dialect that is, ich hab dich lieb, I think it would be. Because in Berlin, people tend to say ich instead of ich and dick instead of dich. Dick. No, but yeah. I still have Wacken tickets. What? Let's see what they will do about it. Ah, Wacken. Yeah, at some point I have to go there as well, I think. Stephen Wilson. Yes. Excited. Trying to get tickets for Rammstein in September. I would love to see Rammstein. Rammstein, like, are one of the last remaining bands that I really want to see live and that I haven't seen live yet. Yeah. Definitely want to see Rammstein live at some point, but I didn't get around to get tickets yet. I just couldn't manage to do it. So good luck with that. Yeah, miss movie theaters too. It was odd watching the majority of Oscar movies on streaming devices this time. Where about in Brisbane did you visit? Yeah, the electric is not much better for the environment than gasoline, using all the rare earth minerals for the batteries, and then most power grids aren't nuclear, wind, or solar. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, maybe once they are built, they might not, like, you know, they might be good vehicles in terms of the energy consumption and stuff, and absorption as well. But building those vehicles and using certain minerals, as you said, for instance, that is the biggest problem, I think, as far as I know. So, yeah. Did you swim on the man-made beach in South Bay? You're not old. Ah, Depends. Did you see Foo Fighters are playing in Berlin in June 2022? Yes, I saw that. But unfortunately, it's the only Germany concert yet, like the only scheduled show in Germany as of now. And Berlin is quite a bit away from here, so probably won't go there. But I would love to see them again in Cologne, for instance, because me and my dad, we are really like big Foo Fighters fans. And it's also one of those son and dad type of things, going to concerts, you know, whether it's the Foo Fighters, whether it's Steven Wilson, whether it's Jethro Tull, whether it's Nightwish, Die Ärzte, you know. I also like to go to concerts, you know, with friends, of course, but also with my dad. Yeah, it's sort of like a son and dad type of thing, for me personally. Many times at least. Guten Abend, das ist Nachmittag hier in California. Ah, I see. What do you think about Aussieland? Like, everything I've ever heard about Australia has only been positive, to be honest. Including John Farnham, You're the Voice. The Australian anthem, I know. I love that song. I love that song. But there is something that I've always wondered about. Maybe you guys can answer that. If you know the song, which is great if you do, because it's a great song, as I've said before, You're the Voice by John Farnham. Classic. One of my favorite 80s songs ever. Not kidding. There is a bridge section with pipes playing. Now, when I think of pipes, I think of Scotland, for instance, or, you know, mostly Scotland. But are pipes a big thing in Australia, or something like typically Australian as well? Or is it just, did he just like play them because they like the sound of them? Or is there like a cultural link between like bagpipes and Australia as well? That is what I'd like to know. Maybe you guys know. And now I have like a catchy tune in my head of that song. So, but almost caught up with you guys, I think. Want to reach service paradise? Want to reach swim? By the way, I also love that you guys have like internal conversations in the chat. I appreciate that. So yeah, keep them going. That is cool. See, that is also cool that you guys, you know, some of you actually know each other through live streams, through like coming here in live streams and hanging out in the chat together for like multiple times now. And that is so cool. Like, the community knows itself in a way, and that is also very, very, very cool. Ik hab dir lieb, Shannon. Tainelonaya. Ja, die Shannon. Hi, hör mal, wie geht's dir? Good friend of mine, actually. From Duisburg. Don't know if you have heard of that city before, guys, but it's a cool city. In North Rhine-Westphalia, by the way. And a city to which I want to return at some point to meet friends. Including Tainelonaya. Shania Manaya. Yeah. Keeping up with the chat again. Foreign language after head injury thing is incredible. Our subconscious must pick up on so much information that we don't realize. Yeah, see, that is what I think as well. Ich war auch spät. Ah, that is okay. Sometimes I'm late as well. We all are late sometimes, you know. Australia is indeed a beautiful country. I figure that you are Australian, therefore. You could be. Just an assumption, but you could be Australian. Periodic is around. Neil Gaiman? Yeah, it's pronounced Gaiman, of course. Wrote American Gods. Coraline Sandman Griffin. Ah, Coraline. Yeah, I've heard about Coraline. American Gods is the eponymously titled show about the same? Is that about the book? Is there a relation? Or do they just like share the same name? The Sandman graphic novel. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely heard about that. Okay, yeah. I love Blümchen. That's super funny. How about Die Prinzen? What do you think about this band, Mr. Dave? They are cool. I don't really listen to them, to be honest. But the songs that I know by them are pretty cool. Yeah, that is true. I don't know if they are still around though. Like I haven't really listened to them in years. But I don't dislike them. Not at all. Good evening from Finland. Ah. Hi. I can't actually say hello in Finnish, even though I'd love to, but yeah. All I can say is Pipari, Kiitos, and Perkele. That is pretty much all. And Suomi, of course, like, you know, saying, oh, Finland in Finnish. And I think Sanska? Is Sanska Germany? Like Finnish, Germany in Finnish? Sanska? By the way, all those terms I actually learned through watching Nightwish DVDs back in the day. Fun fact. Might not be that funny, but still a fact. I like Culture Candela from Berlin. Ja. Ich muss zur Arbeit gehen. Bis bald. Tschüss. Vielen Dank, dass du eingeschaltet hast. Thanks for tuning in, Tiffany. Thanks for your tip. Once again, very generous, and it's always a pleasure having you around here, as well as all you guys, of course. Yeah. So, wow, guys. I'm really slow. Ik hab dich lieb. Yeah, you would say, ik hab dir lieb, yeah. Dick. Der, das, Artikel. Mann, das ist so schwierig, yeah. I can imagine. Articles, you know. Gives away an English speaker every time. Have you been to Berghain, Mr. Dave? No, I haven't. Your dad must have an awesome taste in music. He has. He definitely does, yeah. And I mean, the cool thing about me and my dad is that we complement each other musically, which means that he actually showed me many great bands of the 70s, for instance. The most prominent one may be Jethro Tull and Ian Anderson, which I love. And I also showed him some like more modern type of bands, including Porcupine Tree. And I mean, he also knew about the Foo Fighters, but he didn't really listen to them actively. Opeth, for instance, he likes as well. Steven Wilson, as I've said before, Nightwish, you know. Yeah. And that is something that I love about our musical relationship as well. Nennen Deutsche die Burgunder Weiner Burgunder? Hier in Finnland sieht man oft die französische Therme. Ah, you mean the wines. Interesting. I think we have both, like a German term for certain wines, for instance, Dornfelder, for certain types of wines, but we also use some French terms for wines. Yeah, interesting question, but I think both are common. Pinot Noir, for instance, yeah. Olivia Newton-John and John Farnham. Waltzing Matilda, Didgeridoo, By the way, this is the first time I came to your live stream, Mr. Dave. Yeah, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, actually. And no, I'm not talking about a didgeridoo. I'm talking about bagpipes. There are bagpipes in the bridge section of "You're the Voice" by John Farnham, and that is why I was wondering if there is like a connection between Australia and bagpipes, like a cultural one, similar to like bagpipes and Scotland, you know. Because like, you know, I don't know of such a connection, a link between those things. They played bagpipes at the Anzac parade. What is the Anzac parade? Never heard of that. Ah, yes, Duisburg. I'm not sure about Australia being an English prison colony and the Scottish being sort of an ethnic minority within the UK. I would imagine a lot of them got sent to Australia and brought pipes there. Yeah, that might be an answer, actually. Based on the book, great song from Scotland with pipes. There is another song by the Scottish band Biffy Clyro, which I love as well. Singing Bell, I think it's called. Stinging Bell, yeah. And they also use bagpipes in that one. And I think Korn also used bagpipes in Someone? Was that the one? I don't know. I love bagpipes. The TV series is an adaptation of the book American Gods. Sadly, it got cancelled, but you should check out the book. It's really fascinating. Okay, bagpipes give me a headache. Lots of connections between Australia and Scotland. One of my cousins on the Scottish side emigrated there. Did not hear bagpipes when I was there, but I did in New Zealand. Okay, bagpipes are cool when you're in the mood. That is true. I couldn't listen to bagpipes all day long, to be honest, but I love the sound of them, though. Suomi is Finnish. Yeah, Saksa. Periodic is around, right? I just educated guess. Just need a final verdict from a proper Aussie. And Netflix acquires the rights for The Sandman. Let's see if they need to tone down a bit the gory side. Is it so gory? Wow. Okay. What is a proper Australian? New Zealand seems awesome. I was wondering why someone was writing Scotland the Brave in Gaelic. Okay. Can you speak Gaelic actually, Fenris? Because Fenris is from Scotland. It's a Scottish song. Do they have classic rock radio in Germany? Yes, we have great rock stations as well. Radio Bob, for instance, is one of my favorites personally, and Rock Antenne, for instance, those are two of my favorite rock radios that we have. And Radio Bob, for instance, has many sub-stations, many sub-channels for different genres, for heavy metal, for like speed metal, 80s metal, you know, stuff like that. And same with rock, like classic rock, hard rock type of stuff. Love that. What's it called? Do you listen to Sunshine Live, Mr. Dave? I don't know what that is. New Zealand and Australia are both ours. Awesome. I love my year down under. You guys, you know, what I also love, talking about Australia and music again, is Men at Work Down Under, where they also mention Vegemite. I tried Vegemite once and wasn't the biggest fan of it. But I know it's a big thing in Australia. Like, I don't know if you can actually get a Vegemite in Germany, honestly. I don't think so. I love Men at Work, yeah. And especially that song. That is like one of... Like two of my all-time favorite 80s songs are about or by Australians. John Farnham and, you know, Men at Work, Down Under. Both great songs. Did you like Vegemite? It wasn't the worst thing I ever tasted, to be honest, but it's I wouldn't buy it myself. But maybe I have to retry it at some point. So if you guys from Australia, for instance, if you want to send me a package with typical Australian snacks or like sweets, something like that at some point, feel free to do that, of course. I'd love to try them on cam. Because I'm always fascinated by that kind of stuff, you know, trying foreign food. I actually tried Scottish food that Fenris sent to me, which was really delicious, which was haggis chocolate and macaroon and Scottish coffee. Yes. NXS is my favorite Australian band. I love Mystify. Mystify is one of my favorite songs by them, and also one of my favorite songs of all time. Great song. Yeah. Fun fact, Alice Cooper frequently works with Radio Bob. Yeah, he has his own show on Radio Bob. Alice Cooper, yeah, the Alice Cooper Show, I think it's called. And Tobias Summit from Avantasia, Edgar, yeah, true. Yep, as a Finn who has read German from 8th grade, I have wondered if the Burgunder terms gone out of fashion in Germany, or do you just change etiquettes for us Finns? Interesting question, though. Never thought of that. Yeah, it's also Scottish bagpipes. Piop Moa? I don't know. Were originally used in war. Okay. I always find this funny. Yeah, it is an interesting imagination to have. I love bagpipes. My Gaelic words I know for this. Piop more. Piop more. Rehobob has also a stream dedicated to AC/DC and one for Queen. Yes. Down Under. All of this talk about Australia is giving me major fanweh. Yes. And I desperately want to visit those countries for the first time at some point, talking about them so often and so much. You know, it's really ironic in a way that I have like an international audience with this channel, from the USA over to Australia, over to Japan, over to Russia. You know, it's incredible. Brazil, you know, and other parts of the world, which is mind-blowing to me. Every single time I think of that, it's mind-blowing, and I'm really honored and flattered there. But it's ironic in the sense that, as I've said before, I've never been outside of Europe yet. In fact, I've only been to a handful of countries in my life yet. I haven't really traveled properly yet, like apart from like 1 or 2 times, but that's about it. So, yeah. I also love Nick Cave, that is true, yeah. Nick Cave is really cool as well. Nick Cave at the bad seats. Really special, but you have to like it, of course. It's really different to many other things that people might listen to most of the time, but I'm really enjoying it. Sorry. Mystify. Oh, by the way, I think Airborne are Australian as well, right? Love them as well. Talking about Australian bands. Yes, Dave, you have to try Vegemite again since Voku gave it to you to try on a spoon. Yes! Right, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago, like a long time ago by now. So yeah, I'm gonna try Vegemite again someday. Maybe when I'm gonna be in Australia at some point in my life, which I really want to be and do, or like for instance in Germany, in case someone wants to send that, or maybe both. It might taste better on like bread. So yeah. Midnight Oil, also Australian. Beds are burning. Ah. Bee Gees. Were the Bee Gees Australian as well? Really? I didn't know that. Awesome. Parkway Drive. Yes. Oh, also by the way, one of my favorite Australian bands. How could I forget? Carnival. Great progressive rock / progressive metal band. Carnival. They are a little bit like a mixture of Porcupine Tree, Tool, and other bands with their distinct sound. And also there's a lesser known Australian band, I think, Dead Letter Circus, which also play progressive metal. And I think there is, who was it? Are Tesseract from Australia? The band Tesseract, also prog metal. I don't know. And I think there is a band that is called Voyager, also progressive metal. I think they are also Australian, now that I think about it. Tame Impala. Or is it Tame Impala? I don't know. Never really listened to him though. Yet. Maybe at some point. Nick Cave, yes. Midnight Oil. It's about time for you, Mr. Dave, to start planning and fly down under. Yes, definitely. Natalie Imbruglia is Australia. So is Kylie Minogue. True. Oh, I love Torn, the song by Natalie Imbruglia. That is one of the best songs of the 90s, in my opinion. And of course, Kylie Minogue, you know. Can't Get My Head Around You. Great song. Silverchair, yes. Crowdfunded tour. See, that is also something that I thought about like many times before. And that is also a reason why this right here is new. I haven't done that before because I always felt a bit strange about doing something like that, because people might see it as like being greedy or something, which I totally am not, which is not the point of doing this, as you hopefully know. So that is why I actually hesitated to do this. But then again, I thought, and that was the same thing with like when I first got Patreon, and I decided to have Patreon as a way for you guys to support my channel and what I'm doing on YouTube. I first was hesitant towards that as well, and PayPal and stuff, giving you options for tipping. And then I realized, the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, you know, why am I hesitant there? Because if you or if anyone really wants to do that, they should have the option to do that in the first place. And if people don't want to do that or can't do that or whatever, that's fine as well. You know, no one is forced to actually tip something or donate something ever on my channel. It's greatly appreciated, of course, but you know, it's not that I'm not taking this for granted at all. So maybe at some point, taking up on the comment about crowdfunding, a crowdfunded tour, maybe I should actually maybe at some point I should actually set up a like donation goal for traveling? I don't know. I have to think about that. Not promising anything, but Wolfmother. Yeah, Wolfmother. Definitely. Yeah. The Joker and the Thief. Great song. Love them. And, you know, AC/DC, of course. Airborne, I think. What else? Australian bands. Oh, Australian bands. Let me think about it. But I think we named most of the ones that I know yet. So, like already. Australian bands. I think, yeah, that's most of the ones that I know of, to be honest. Or that I, like, know and listen to. Super Flash Crash. Hi, Rick. Eben noch über dich gesprochen. Nur gut natürlich. Torn. Yeah, it's Torn is a cover? Really? Huh. Is Vanessa Carlton, is she Australian as well? You know the song 1,000 Miles. I think you all know that song. Is she Australian? Oha, worüber durfte gelästert werden? Ja, jemand hatte gefragt, wie ich hab dich lieb auf Berlinerisch gesagt wird. Und dann kamen wir halt auch so auf Leben in großen Städten und dass du ja irgendwann demnächst nicht mehr in Berlin wohnst und so. Ja. Und ich habe generell Werbung für die Podcasts gemacht und so. Ja. No, she isn't, okay. Destroyer 666 or 666 is an Aussie band. Only know them by name. Same true for the Berserker. Crowded House. Mr. Broken Dreams. Broken Wings, I think it is. Yeah. Also one of my favorite 80s songs. Mr. might be Australian? Maybe not. I don't know. Just a more or less clever guess. Rhyme. Not intended. Keenan or Kenan Swain. Hi, and greetings to England from Germany. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. My favorite Australian metal band, Pegasus. Okay. There is also one. What's it called? Caligula's Horse, I think. They might also be Australian, like. So, in love every time it is deserve any compensation. Thank you very much for saying that. So, on how many Bundesländer have you lived so far? And which of all the Bundesländer is your favorite and why? Good question, but pretty easy to answer because I've only lived in North Rhine-Westphalia so far. It's the biggest Bundesland we have. There are 16 Bundesländer in Germany. Like, Germany consists of 16 states. Das Bundesland Singular, die Bundesländer Plural. And all my life I've lived in North Rhine-Westphalia. And it's the biggest state we have in Germany in terms of population. Because 18 million people live in North Rhine-Westphalia alone. And I love NRW, as we call it. short form, NRW, NRW, North Rhine-Westphalia. I just love living here. I live in the Sauerland region, which is pretty much like southeast of North Rhine-Westphalia, close to Hessen. And, you know, many well-known popular cities of Germany are in North Rhine-Westphalia, including Cologne, including Düsseldorf, Dortmund, which you might know because of Borussia Dortmund, BVB, you know, the soccer club, for instance, and Essen, Bonn, the former German capital city, before the reunification happened in 1990. Yeah, I love living here. And my favorite Bundesland I'm biased, of course, but it might as well be North Rhine-Westphalia, even though I also love, you know, Berlin, which Berlin, Hamburg, and Bremen, they are special because they are not only cities, but they are city-states, which makes them special. The only 3 of them in Germany that we have, city-states. So Berlin is a city and a state at the same time. Same is true for Hamburg and Bremen. And I love all of them, all those 3. Especially Bremen. I've been there multiple times with Germanized with Vuko and Sergio, where he lived there back in the day a couple of years ago. And we went there multiple times. And Bremen definitely has lots of cool architecture to offer, like really narrow lanes and stuff, old houses, partially, so really cool. So Dave read this one out and then explained it. A typical saying in Frankfurt goes like this: "Das will man net in a Koppenei, wie kann ein Mensch net aus Frankfurt sei?" It doesn't want to go into my head. How can a human being not be from Frankfurt? That is like, das will man nicht in a Koppenei, wie kann ein Mensch nicht aus Frankfurt sei? That is, I totally butchered that, I think, but yeah, tried my very best. Interesting saying though. And maybe at some point, might very well be possible, I might make a video about Hessisch, the Hessisch dialect, Hessian, with Gannon Kirby, because he is from Hessen. Yes. Also mal wieder nur das Beste. Ja, hallo? Natürlich. Immer nur das Beste. Wer es verdient, der bekommt auch nur das Beste. Have you heard of the German band Steipnir? Yes, I've heard about them, but that is about it. I haven't really listened to them. I like a few of their songs, Wunderbare Jahre and Valhalla ruft. Okay. Mallorca. Yeah, Mallorca, like some Germans consider Mallorca to be the 17th German state, but of course it isn't. But just because it's so popular among Germans. Someone has taught me that Schwäbisch has the most difficult dialect, but someone also mentioned Hessisch. Hessisch. 18 million in NRW, yes. If you were given an opportunity to travel outside Europe, would you like to visit Namibia? Yeah. Of course. Spandau Arkaden is a nice shopping mall. Dave and I went there too during his visit in 2019. Yes. 2 years ago. Wow. Thank you, Ha. Yes, it's pronounced like Keenan, like Maynard James Keenan, for instance. Love Tool. And A Perfect Circle. And Pussifer. And Maynard James Keenan. And, you know. German is my favorite language, actually. I'm yet to learn it, though I get my interest from the best. Rammstein. Oh, yeah. Namibia is too hot. Might be, yeah. But I personally can cope with hot temperatures and high temperatures quite well, actually. So, Bonn was the capital city before the Wiedervereinigung. Yes, before the reunification happened in 1990, where West Germany and East Germany merged to the Federal Republic of Germany that we know today, Bonn actually was the capital city of the federal, like the West German Federal Republic of Germany, the former version of it, so to speak, without East Germany, which was its own state, the GDR. And in the GDR, the capital city was Berlin. So, and after the reunification happened, Berlin became the official capital city. So, being the capital city, Berlin is not that old yet. It's like 31 years old, actually. So, as a reunited city. And the city itself also was separated. So, difficult situation. Hessisch isn't actually that hard aside from North Hesse. Just toss in some more vowels and double almost all consonants. That's your first step towards Hesse. Hey, Hesse. Hermann Hesse. And slow down the majority of your speech pattern. But isn't that Austrian German? Did he say that? Yes, he did. I'm sorry, Austrians out there. And Swiss German, of course. Also not the fastest speakers on the planet, if I may say so. But I love it, though. I love it. Yes, you butchered it, Dave. Arcade in Spandau. Do you have Dave's visit on a vlog? Good question, actually. Did I film a vlog when I visited you, Rick? We had a live stream for the Artikel 13 protest march in Berlin that we attended, yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Dave. I truly enjoyed your live stream. Nice meeting you and hope to attend your next show again. Have fun, everyone. Greetings from Heidelberg. Thank you very much for tuning in for the first time and welcome to the channel once again. Highly appreciate it. Thank you. And also thanks for your great questions, actually. I really enjoyed that. Bye for now. Till next time. Reise makes me want to join the Navy. I wonder, can the gap between East and West Germany ever be totally healed? For instance, in apartment prices. Yeah, good question, actually. That is a good question. It might still be tough, but I think we're slowly getting there, but really slowly. But then again, it's hard to say. Are there still strong cultural differences between East and West Germany? There are some cultural differences, mainly because the socialization and upbringing was way different in both countries, because the GDR, aka East Germany, was a socialist state, and West Germany was a democratic capitalism state, so a republic. So different ways to grow up, to work, and that also, of course, leads to differences in how you perceive and pursue everyday life and certain things, how you think about certain things. Of course, there are differences. Do I think it's negative? It's a negative thing that there are differences? No. I think differences can be can enrich a country's culture and a country's a country. Punkt. Dot. Good question. Wow, Germany seems to be quite rich in history. My favorite German film, Goodbye Lenin. Yeah, but Hessisch is also a rather slow dialect. Take this as an example. Say, aufpasse. And now compare it to how long it takes to say aufpasse. Achso, aufpassen. Aufpasse. Aschebecher. I'm reading a book about people who built tunnels in Berlin to escape East Germany. Very interesting, yeah. I plan to one day visit Germany. Do you have any recommendations for cool sports? Why did I pronounce it that way? Like a little bit Scottish. Sports. I could go to. I mean, you know, the big cities, of course, are always interesting sightseeing wise. Berlin, definitely, because of much history that went on there. And being the capital city and being like an international type of city. Cologne is really beautiful. Yeah. Hamburg, Bremen, Munich. Never been there, but I heard great things about it. And what I also personally like, but that depends on what you guys like, of course, is the North Sea, like German islands that we have, Sylt, for instance, or Langeroge, and there are many Wangerooge. There are many islands that we have in northern Germany, northwestern coast and northeastern coast of up there. So yeah, that is also something that I like. But I guess it's time for me to sleep. It's over midnight here, so talk to you all later. Also, thanks, Dave, for your videos and channel. I have to thank you. Cheers to Finland. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm also gonna end the stream in a few seconds because, yeah, over 2 hours, and I'm also a little bit tired, to be honest, by now. But don't worry, there's gonna be a new stream soon. So last few questions here. Yes, it's time for me. Amazing. Daniel Brühl, yes, also great actor. Does East Germany embrace capitalism, or are they reluctant to? In the US, most of our strongest advocates against socialism grew up in socialist countries and despise it. I wouldn't say per se that they are reluctant to capitalism, but they... I don't know if suspicious is the correct term, but they might be comparably more suspicious in terms of change. And, you know... But maybe that's just my assumption and might be totally wrong. I haven't lived in East Germany, so I can't judge. I'm not from there. It's an interesting question, but I don't think I can like fully answer that one, to be honest. My mom has been to Hamburg. She liked it. Yes, it's awesome. Berlin is an amazing, beautiful city to visit, especially for Christmas with all the Weihnachtsmärkte. Yes, Christmas markets. I miss them and love them. There are a lot of different ways people escaped. My grandpa escaped through changing cabinets in a train. She flirted with a conductor who forgot to let her out before the border. Oh, okay. Well, that is an interesting tactic there. Gute Nacht, fascinating insight. Vielen Dank. I have to thank you guys for tuning in. Keep in mind, she hit my mom 3 months old at the time in her backpack. If she had cried, her cover would have been blown. Wow. Nice Foo Fighters shirt. I appreciate the stream. By the way, guys, I think this one was sent to me by one of you guys as well. So, yeah. And that is the last thing that I want to say for this stream. So once again, thank you all so very much for tuning in, for asking those great questions, for talking to me in the chat, and to like each other as well, which I also appreciate when you do that. So also, of course, thank you very much for that. And where is it? That. I'm yeah. I'm yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. What? Three. She settled in Frankfurt. That's why I'm initially born Hesse. Hesse. So, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna be back with a live stream probably next month. As I've said before, I intend to have like at least one stream per month with you guys, like a monthly live stream. And also, once it's warmer outside again, maybe 1 or 2 Lonely Walk in Germany type of live streams again, where I'm gonna take you with me and like show you a bit around the area. Maybe, we'll see. Thanks for watching, everyone. More videos coming up soon. As I've said before, I intend to upload them and publish them every Tuesday and every Friday from now on. I think most of the time I can do that. Sometimes it might differ, like deviate from those dates, but for the most part it should be Tuesday and Friday. With the exception of live streams. Live streams might also be published or like might be happening on a Saturday or a Sunday, depending on the time, of course, and the schedule. So yeah, thank you very much for everything, guys, for being here, for enjoying my my videos and what I'm doing here on YouTube, and being here, of course. So little bit of beer in this bottle. And with that being said, Prost and see you around. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, guys. Thank you very much for everything. See you next time. And have a great weekend, of course. Bye bye.